I've talked a few times over the last few weeks about localizers and one particular user on social media named Katrina. This was the person who was a translator for 13 Sentinels, a game I've talked a lot about because the English translation was butchered. They are the lead localization coordinator for the Persona 3 and 4 Xbox and PC ports. She made ridiculous claims about the Spy X Family translator and how the anime wouldn't be half as popular in the West without them. And now, after all of the backlash she's brought upon herself, she changed her Twitter bio to remove any reference to SEGA, and a lot of people are talking about it. So before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and to the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or support the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I saw this thread initially, so it's the one that I wanted to reference. It says, it appears that Katrina changed their bio to remove any reference to SEGA, as well as place a statement about their opinion which suggests they got a talking to from their employer. Left is before, right is after. So the left, the original, says Katrina Localizer, a localizer coordinator at SEGA. I also translate anime and manga. Opinions are mine. And now it says game localization coordinator. It doesn't say for what company. I also translate anime and manga. Opinions are mine and do not reflect opinions of my employer. So two pretty different descriptions here for their bio, but people are pointing out things like this is proof that our efforts in exposing these localizers are having a real effect. Do not stop or think all of this is pointless. Now, I say this a lot, but if something does come out that's changed in a video game or an anime and you don't agree with it, or there's an employee on social media attacking people, don't go after individuals. Express the fact that you're upset to the companies themselves, because they are the ones who can make changes if enough people are upset. Tweeting at or attacking people will just end up being used against us. Okay, it doesn't matter what you say to them, even if it is legitimate criticism, your comments will be used as an example of harassment. And it seems like in this case, reaching out to SEGA, making tweets about the situation, even interacting with videos like this are helping, because according to her LinkedIn, she wasn't fired, but she was probably told to rein in her social media interactions with people and not attack consumers, or people are going to boycott a product. It does seem like after the Persona situation and that Persona announcement, she probably had a talking to. Now, of course, throughout my videos on this individual, I've never said I want them fired, okay? I do not sit here and say, hey, this person deserves to be fired or kicked out of the industry, even though I do not agree with the things that they've done. But this is the best case scenario where a company actually tells an employee, hey, listen, you can't make changes that you want. Don't go on social media attacking people. You have to make sure that individuals who are looking at your profile understand that your opinions do not reflect those of the company. And in this case, that's what's happened. Of course, Katrina didn't specify why she decided to change her bio, but around the time that she changed her bio, she did actually lock her account for a short time. I didn't realize that her bio was changed at this point. I did make a tweet about it. It has over 300 likes, but she did end up locking her social media for a short amount of time. Now, going back to the initial thread about Katrina and the bio change, people are saying things like opinions are mine and do not reflect opinions of my employer. LOL. Still won't stop me from pirating SEGA games until I'm 1000% sure she didn't put her hands on the dialogue. And that's a big worry that people have. Why did they need a localization team or even a single coordinator for games that are already translated. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Unfortunately, a lot of us believe that her job is to go into the game, find things that could be offensive or seen as outdated, and then end up changing them. But I do not plan to repurchase these titles until I know for a fact that nothing was changed or altered. People are saying things like fucked around and found out good, W. That's not enough, though. We need an official statement from SEGA that she didn't put her hands on any of the translations. I do think that SEGA would probably make people happy if they would simply come out and say, listen, well, we have a localization coordinator for these games. We don't plan to change any of the content. But they're not going to come out and say that if that actually is their intention, and right now they haven't made any statements on it. And I have talked about this individual quite a few times on the channel now, but this was one of the recent situations. It says questionable translator selected as Persona Xbox and PC port localization coordinator. And of course, it was Katrina. They did end up tweeting out, so excited to announce that I'm the localization coordinator for the release of P3P and P4G on Xbox and Windows. And of course, people didn't like this. People were pretty upset. She did say that, honestly, for a port title, it's mostly just making sure everything from the legacy version makes it into the port okay. But of course, we don't have any evidence that nothing is going to be changed. This is someone who in the past has changed things in titles and upset people by doing so. It says that they also supported another manga localizer's decision to rewrite a character to identify as a transgender female when they refer to themselves as a male despite all of the evidence. Of course, they were the translator behind the Big Brother controversy, and they also often brush off criticism as hate and block those who disagree with her. I'm surprised that I am still not blocked by her. I've said this in tweets, I've said this in videos. If this person ever wanted to sit down with me and have a conversation about localization, I would sit down and talk to them about it, but of course that's never going to happen, and I bet that they'll block me at some point in the near future. I do genuinely hope that these ports are not altered in any way. I do hope that this person really does simply make sure that everything is ported smoothly, but it does seem at this point that SEGA has talked to this individual maybe about the way that they've attacked people on social media, written off criticism as hate, and maybe they've also talked to them about these ports. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.